Hi, Jeff here, JetSurf Wave Riders. I got my 2019 race DFI here with my JetSurf Wave Riders. I've gone for a orange logo here on this one rather than the blue one which I had on my titanium. The reason really was just these foot straps. I'm trying out some kite surfing foot straps and I'm using these with the Padformators from JetSurf. And I really like these Padformators from JetSurf. It's allowing me to adjust my foot strap positions. It's allowing me to turn backwards and forwards. It's allowing me to shift the weight slightly in the board or to the outside of the board. And it's allowing also to shift the weight forwards on the board or backwards on the board. There's not a huge amount of room. You can go like an inch or so forward from standard or an inch or so back from backward position, but there's lots of movement in, out, backwards, forwards and turning. I'm particularly liking the fact that I can turn the back foot, I can put the weight of the back foot strap towards the back of the board, like down towards the tail of the board. So in relation to my back foot compared to where the fin is, my back foot is now further back on the board and it's helping me to turn better. I'm also turning the foot strap position, instead of being flat, I'm turning it a little bit more so the toes towards the tail of the board, and I feel like as I'm coming out of the turn, you know, it feels good. I guess it's looking at like Lucas on the racetrack. You see how he can turn. It's like he's got like, well, obviously he's amazing, but you've got that extra like rear steer of the board where he can turn out of the corners on the back foot, which is really good. So I'm seeing that I'm using that in the waves. I'm really enjoying that in the waves. So that's something I'm really pleased with. These foot straps are actually kite surfing foot straps. They're just a standard Velcro foot strap. They don't adjust, open or close like if I push on them, and there's no kind of lumps on them if I like to be uncomfortable if I'm laying on the board. So these JetSurf ratchet straps, really like them on the racetrack, but in the waves I just find like if you lay on the board, they're closing up, which is one thing which I don't like. And the other thing is that if you're kind of laying on the board, you can end up kind of getting bashed in the nuts by the lump. It's not that comfortable. Also, these heel ups to keep your heel inside the board, I really like that on the racetrack. But in the waves, if I'm getting nailed by a wave, I need my feet to come out of the board, and I particularly don't want to be in a situation where I've got one foot stuck in the board and one foot out of the board and the board's being dragged along by a wave, because like that's a real break your leg sort of situation. So standard sort of foot straps, I would say if you're wave riding, probably the JetSurf standard foot straps rather than the ratchet straps. Again, depending on how your style of riding is, I guess. My style is ride sort of over the edge and fall a lot, you know, on the waves. If I go out for an hour's wave session, I might have fallen down 20-30 times. It can happen. I like to learn what I can do on the wave, and it means I fall a lot. So that's really, I need to be ejecting. If you're sort of on the waves and you just want your foot planted tight, safely, securely in the straps, maybe these ratchet straps are going to work for you. But if you're going to be getting in a situation where the board's going to get nailed and pulled by the wave, you don't want your foot stuck in the board. So I would say not the heel ups for wave riding or freestyling. You're going to be trying to do jumps and backflips and stuff. You really don't want to be in a situation where you've got one foot stuck in the board like by the heel ups. That's what I would say. So yeah, these foot straps, Padformators, really like them. And I'm also sort of feeling like if a person is very light, then maybe they need lots of leverage on these boards to turn them. So perhaps they need the front foot right over the rail of the board and the back foot right over the other rail of the board. But the way I see it is, I'm not the lightest jet surfer out there. I've got my share of weight on the board. I probably don't need my weight to be right so close to the edge of the board. I can probably bring my weight inward a little bit and inward a little bit here, more central. I'm bringing the foot straps, the back foot all the way back. I'm bringing the front strap a little bit up, so I'm sort of having a wider stance as I'm standing. I'm, you know, nearly 6 foot tall, so I've got long enough legs that I can cope with that. It worked for me, and I like a wider stance. I feel quite comfortable having a wider stance, and then turning the board, angling the front strap toes a little bit towards the nose, and the back strap toes a little bit towards the tail like further than standard. So yeah, Padformators, really good plus for wave riding, I would say. Really good. I'm going to do a few more little videos about some other stuff. I'm just going to keep this on topic. I'm going to wrap this up here, so any questions, put them in the comments. See you later.